At issue this week, the Prime Minister testifies under oath, defending his government's handling of foreign interference and why he still has confidence in Canada's democratic institutions.
Every briefing I've ever got from all my intelligence and security experts is that those elections were indeed free and fair.
But Trudeau also said he doesn't necessarily see all the briefings available.
First of all, these are briefing notes that I never saw. These are briefings for a briefer who then gave a briefing that, as we've seen, may or may not have included all of these things.
What did we learn from the Prime Minister's testimony? What questions remain? Hi there, I'm Rosemary Barton, here to break it down on At Issue this week. Chantal Hébert, Althea Raj, and Kelly Kreiderman, who is in for Andrew Coyne tonight. Good to see you all. Appreciate you being here. Chantal, let's start with you in terms of what you made of Trudeau's testimony, whether it revealed anything to you about the issue of foreign interference and how he and his government have handled it.
And what we heard from the PMO and from the Prime Minister this week is that some of the information that was leaked seemed to come as a surprise to them.
Sure.
And that goes back to, and it goes beyond not reading every memo. The clip you played basically has Trudeau saying, I did not see those briefing notes. They were the briefer's notes, and that's not the message or the entire message that was conveyed. This, what we saw this week, could be called lost in communications. Mm-hmm. If you believe the version that was presented by the Prime Minister and his palace guard, basically, briefers from the security services would come into a room with prepared notes of a message they wanted to deliver, and then that message was not quite delivered, or was fudged, or at least did not come or carry the urgency that you could read in the briefing notes. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, if messages do not get to government, I think there is a need to fix the system so that those messages do, in stark letters, get to the Prime Minister and his staff, whoever is in government. Mm-hmm. So it's not, it didn't come across, listening to the Prime Minister and the staff, as a relationship between the security services and the government based on trust and confidence.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, Althea, at multiple times with the staff and with the Prime Minister, there was a real sense that things had to be questioned or critically analyzed in terms of the intelligence they were getting, because they just weren't always confident in what was being told to them.
What struck me was that based on the political necessity, it seems like the Liberal government is changing its tune. Last April, Katie Telford, the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff, testified when the public debate was about whether or not the Liberals had been briefed about foreign intelligence or whether they were closing their eyes and they were purposely trying not to be informed. She came to committee and she testified. She said, of course, the Prime Minister reads any document he receives. And later, first, everything the Prime Minister receives, he spends a lot of time and most definitely reads. And now it seems like the government needs some plausible deniability. The Prime Minister needs plausible deniability. And the message that he is saying is, I don't actually read everything that is given to me. This is mostly for your information. And if you really want me to know something, then I am briefed by my National Security and Intelligence Advisor. And that is the only way. And he repeated this twice. If they want him to make a decision, if they want him to know something, it is up to her, it's a her now, to brief him. So that's not quite the same thing that we were told a year ago. And it makes me wonder, because as Chantal said, we don't know most of what is actually being discussed. We know of a few instances in the public sphere, and frankly, those are issues that are being relitigated that we knew about last spring. It is interesting to me that the government's tone and answer to these questions has changed, and I do wonder why. One of the things that struck me was how rarely the Prime Minister actually gets briefed on foreign interference or meets with the National Security Advisor. He's even talking just about 3 or 4 times a month. And that one of the good things that has emerged out of the leaks, frankly, is that there is somebody that travels now with the Prime Minister that is in a position to deliver classified briefings, top secret briefings, to government officials if they need them when they're on the road. it's kind of shocking that it took the leak to have that position on the plane with the Prime Minister.
It would also be nice if the Prime Minister expressed a little more trust in intelligence, even as he casts a skeptical eye to some of what they told him.
Yeah.